Yo, 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 yo. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Diondra.
And we are pulling our handicap card. And today we're going to talk. I'm going to interview my wife today. I want to figure out how she really feels about dating and marrying a person with a disability.
You really just kind of caught me off guard, but I'm with it, babe.
Okay.
So just so y'all know, we did not prepare for this. Babe was like, let's just roll. Let's flow.
At all. So, I want you to be open and honest about everything.
You know that's just me. I can't be no other way.
So, we have been dating for almost 2 years.
We've been dating for almost 2 years.
We've been together almost 2 years.
Oh, okay. Put some respect on my name.
But I'm always going to date you, though.
You do. I have to give you that. We
always
date faithfully.
Date you. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So, in these 2 years,
mm-hmm.
what has been the most challenging part of dating me? And don't say my mouth. Just
Baby, you
just
knew where I was going.
Exclude that part.
Because honestly, it has nothing to do with your disability. It's that mouth and that tone. But let's talk about it. You said you want to be real and raw, so let's talk about it. I think you have a defense mechanism that is set up from being disabled, and I don't think you know how to turn it off. So, Brandon is very witty. He's quick. He always got a comeback, and he a Virgo.
Shouts out to my Virgos.
He's a Virgo, and I love it. But honestly, the most difficult thing about being with Brandon is that I am super sensitive and emotional. I'm a Cancer. He's a Virgo. I'm a water sign. So it's just that, and I know where it comes from. You know, it comes from him being picked on as a kid, him having to figure out how to have that tough skin, and him having to, he tells me all the time, like, so when we talk about, like, parenting, he be like, yo, I'm going to roast my kids. They're going to get roasted at home so that they'll know how to stand up for themselves, and can't nobody punk them in the streets or make them feel some type of way. And that is just literally how he operates. And so, like, when we, not even just with me, because I don't want it to come off as if my husband verbally abuse me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that my husband is just, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like, you would just have to interact with him to know. But he got to come back for everything, and he quick with it. Like, he will catch you off guard.
I am really sweet to you.
I give it
to everybody else, but with you, I actually put some thought into it. And
I agree. So I was saying that, yes, sometimes his response, like, he's a quick fire responder, and I'm more of a I have to process things and think them through. And because my love language is words of affirmation, I am very cautious about what I let flow from my lips, because I understand how I interpret things and how I take them and how words really stick to me. So I'm very cautious of that, and I'll say nothing before I say something. But Brandon, baby, he gonna quick fire. He's gonna quick fire respond.
Not true.
It is. I'm not saying it in a negative way, though.
Say most of the time I'll be like, yeah, or like I won't say nothing, and that's the worst.
Okay, so there's that too. Brandon can be very nonchalant. That's the Virgo in him. But again, like, I think I'm just a little bit more thoughtful, where if I ask him a question, Brandon be like, it's more so his tone. He be like, I can't put it into words, but it just be kind of like, why the fuck you asking me that type of tone? And he'll be like, that's absolutely not what I meant, but that's how I interpreted it. So that, I'm sensitive. That can be a thing. And then more so, like, being prepared when we interact with others. I be like on edge, like, what Brandon finna say to these folks? If they say something crazy to my husband, he is going to respond. Like, Brandon is the epitome of, he's gonna give you what you dishing out. So when we go somewhere, like if we're linking up with a new couple for a date night, baby, I pray.
Why?
I pray before we go.
Why?
Because and rightfully so, if someone get ignorant, I'm not ignorant. I'm not the type that's going ignorant. If they get a little ignorant, I ain't the type that's gonna go back with them unless they push me there. Brandon gonna give you a full blown show. Play with him. Please play with him. So I just have to be mindful of the situations that we put ourselves in, because I'm not the type of wife that's going to try and correct my husband. My husband is who he is, and I accept him for that. So that just means me being prepared that if somebody go there, knowing that he's gonna go there with him, and sitting back looking cute while he do it. While on the inside, I'm like, oh my God, Brandon, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I'm not that type of wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one that's going to try to put him in his place or correct him because he a grown-ass man. And if he feel like you disrespected him and he's going to come back at you, then so be it. You shouldn't have came at him crazy. But, yeah.
Okay. So, aside of my mouth, is there any other thing that has been difficult, do you think? As far as disability, ma'am?
I'm sorry. I tell Brendan every day, boy, you ain't got no disability. Quit playing. So, I mean, no. For me, it has not been challenging. I think if anything in the beginning, it's more of a mental thing. It's new. You know what I mean? It's different. It's something you haven't experienced. But I think that I'm a pretty open-minded person. So, if anything, it was maybe those, I wouldn't even say couple of months, maybe the first month, trying to fully grasp and understand and do my own research about your disability. So I guess the one thing I can think of, the one thing I can think of is being mindful of what we eat and how I cook. Because, baby, I'm a Southern lady. I like to cook. But I have to be mindful of, like, Brandon's lactose intolerant. There's certain things that he's just not supposed to have or that can have a negative reaction on his body. And I have to be mindful that I'm not out here just cooking whatever the heck I want and not being thoughtful of him. But again, like, that's not a, a major issue. There's just not much to say. It's not been a challenge for me. And I'm not going to sit here and act like it is or try to come up with something.
Has there been anything that's been like difficult to watch me do or go through? Something that you see me go through? Like,
yeah.
What's that?
So, I think podcast 2 where we talked about Germany and a job, that was very difficult for me. I think it was more difficult for me than it was for you as your spouse. I don't even know how to put it into words. It was difficult for me seeing you get so pumped, so excited about something to be let down for no reason. It would have been different if there was some legitimate reason behind why X, Y, and Z happened. And Brennan, you know, he was strong about it. He was a trooper. He was just like, you know, babe, I'm good. And I think part of that was because going into that process, he had the mindset of like, I'm not going to believe it till I see it. So he would always say, if we go to Germany or if this and that. And I was fully prepared. I was fully prepared to take that leap and move to Germany. And when it fell through, and the way that it fell through, I was genuinely concerned. My whole thing was, are you okay? You know, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine. But I wasn't sure if he was internalizing things, like if there was things that he wasn't expressing to me that he was feeling. I could see how something like that could really like put you in a dump and kind of change the trajectory of things that we had going on, like really, you know, mess with your mindset. So I was just terrified that you were going to be depressed, that, you know, in that moment you might have gave up on life. You know, I was worried. But he kept reassuring me that he was okay. But for me, that was very difficult.
I think that for me, it was just, I'm used to it, man. It's so sad. But when it comes to society and other people, like I really think nothing stops me or nothing can break me because I'm already like looking at it because my mind has already been trained to kind of in a bad way not to trust anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And until I'm actually there, like I never know because people are flaky. People will talk and, you know, talk behind your back, let you down. Like, you know, like this whole situation, my life was in somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
So I never get comfortable in that situation because I know how people are when it comes to disabilities. So I just like, forget it. I mean, you know, it is what it is. And really, man, I don't know. I just kind of spaced out and just took some time to just be like, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm still working. God got a plan for me. And I just was like, forget it. It is what it is.
Okay. So to flip the script, since you want to interview people without telling them, from your perspective, what has been challenging about being in a relationship with me and me, you know, being a normal person, not having a disability? Has there been anything that it's like, you know, she don't get it, she don't understand, or I just make things difficult in a relationship?
No, I think you really kind of let me do me and just I don't really think it's anything difficult. Your head is big though. Like,
Okay.
I mean,
But you love my head. It's beautiful, like you said. Not
your,
big, beautiful.
your head when it like take over the pillow.
Okay.
Man.
Whatever.
Nah, but it really hasn't been anything that's just been crazy. Like I knew from the first day, like, hey, this girl it. So I just didn't. I mean, there's nothing I can say. But back on you. All right. So what would you give? What kind of advice would you give a young lady that's kind of curious and interested in a young man with a disability?
I would say know what you're getting yourself into. Um, before you make that step, before y'all decide to make a commitment, um, before you enter a relationship, make sure you understand what you're getting into and make sure you're fully committed to that. And I say that because Brennan has told me stories about females, and I think he even talked about it on the podcast, females who, are all for him when it's just him and when they're just on the phone, but they want to have a private relationship or, don't want to be seen in public. And my thing is, you already have enough on your plate. You go through enough as it is being labeled as a disabled person. The last thing you need is the person that you thought was the one or, supposed to be your person to be ashamed of you or to be, want to be secretive or, whatever that is. So my advice would to be to fully understand, do your own research. If you got questions about their disability, y'all should be able to have an open communication about that, but do your own research. Somebody was saying in a comment like, baby girl coming all the way through for her man. Absolutely. All day, every day. I am going to be loud about my man because that's my man. You know what I mean? So, it breaks my heart to see people stuck in relationships with others who don't really care, because if you're at a point where you want to hide the relationship, you don't really care about me. You know what I mean? Like I said, Brennan has told me tons of stories. So that's my one piece of advice. And then I guess a second, a little more tangible piece of advice would be to be open-minded and to just not care about what anybody else thinks. No, don't care about what society says. I guess this would be the perfect podcast to kind of tell our story. You cool with that? We got time?
Yeah.
So me and Brendan have the most unorthodox relationship possible. So we met on Facebook dating. We exchanged numbers. Had that initial wait.
We exchanged numbers?
I forgot. Okay. You gonna tell it or you want me to tell it?
No, you tell it.
All right, I'm gonna tell it from my perspective. So we meet on Facebook dating. We're like chatting back and forth, and we don't get too deep into the conversation, but deep enough that it's like, okay, we got decent little talk going on here. And so Brendan asked for my number. Now, mind you, I told him that I was not interested in a relationship. Really, what really happened was I created a profile on Facebook dating. Unbeknownst to me, I was just trying to do some research. I'm a life coach, and I've always wanted to create a dating, not really a dating app, but like a matchmake type thing. So I was just kind of playing around with it to see if Facebook is giving you a questionnaire or is it a swipe type Tinder type thing. So I didn't realize I was actually creating a profile. But once I realized the profile was created, it's like, oh, okay, whatever, what the heck, let's just go for it. So we ended up matching, started texting back and forth, and then he asked for my number. And so I just reminded him that I wasn't, don't do that.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I reminded him that I wasn't looking for anything serious, but, he could have my number as long as he understood that, I just wanted to be friends. And that's when I knew I had fucked up. He stalled. We went from super quick responses to him taking a good 10-15 minutes to respond to me. So I didn't think he was gone. You took a little minute.
When
we were
yeah. Okay, when I was deciding if I wanted to write you or not.
I guess
okay,
so.
Okay, go ahead.
He took a little minute, But we ended up exchanging numbers, and really it's been history from there. But just to kind of give you a little more detail, I think we probably dated. Now, mind you guys, we met during COVID. So at this point, everything was shut down. We didn't get to have a real first date. So, like, we text back and forth. We had that infamous first phone call. You know, the phone call where you, like, doing stupid stuff that don't even make sense, like walking on the countertops and all that type of stuff, talking for hours.
Walking on my kitchen countertop.
He was walking on his kitchen countertop. I had my feet up on the headboard, hanging some kind of weird way, playing with my hair, like just dumb stuff. But
I wrote my dogs back too.
Did you?
Yeah. Max was pissed.
But yeah, so like we have that super cute, don't want to hang up type conversation for hours. And I think we both expressed the next day, like not wanting to end that phone call. And for me, it was like, I really like him. He could be the one. And I had to snap myself into reality. Like, girl, it's only been one conversation. Like, what you talking about? But obviously he expressed that he felt the same way. So we met up one day, and I ain't even finna get into all that either. But basically, we ended up linking up. You can tell it later if you want. We ended up linking up. He was supposed to, so it was his best friend's birthday. He had asked me, did I want a plate? I'm like, nah. But then I was like, yeah. So I pull up. He brings me the plate. We talk for a few minutes. We hug, and then he goes back to the party. He ends up leaving about 20 minutes later, calling me. We kind of continue that. So that was our first time seeing one another in person. And then we ended up literally seeing each other every day from that point. And at about 2 weeks, we decided we wanted to be in a relationship. And that wasn't as simple as I'm saying it, but...
Was it 2 weeks?
It wasn't more than 2 weeks, I don't think.
It was. It was a holiday.
Yeah, so...
What holiday was it?
Memorial Day.
What month is Memorial Day in?
May.
Okay, David's birthday is in March.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It might not be.
It's not.
It might not be.
It's not. But anyway, so essentially it was less than a month. So let's just say that it was definitely less than a month. And... I had to give it to Brandon. Brandon knew what he wanted because, baby, Brandon was like, so, I mean, we gonna do this or we gonna not? And in that moment, I let society's views get the best of me because I was like, boy, I don't even know you. And he like, yeah, you don't know me, but yet you're spending every day with me. You know, we are basically moving as if we're in a relationship. So what's the problem? And I'm steady sitting over here saying that I don't know you. And it's like, it just doesn't make sense. So we kind of did that game for probably about a week. And Brandon was tired of my shit. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there before he put me on blast. Brandon was tired of my shit. And he was just kind of like, I'm not going to play this game with you. Now, he was very gentle about it. And he really didn't even put it into words. But I could kind of feel the vibe changing. And I had to make a decision. Like, am I willing to lose this amazing man? Because I'm afraid that people are going to be like, oh, so when did you meet him? And how long have y'all known? And oh my gosh, are you serious? I had to just make some decisions for myself.
Now, you got to think about it. Like, with COVID, like, I wasn't working and you were working, but I don't think you was really, really working. Like, we had a lot going on, and, I mean, we had nothing going on. It was nothing going on, so we were really just spending days upon days with each other. So... Not to say that was an excuse to really get in a fast relationship, but I mean, I'm around you for 6 to 7 hours a day. Like, I'm picking up on your vibes. Like, I kind of feel what you got going on. And if you wasn't this genuine person, then I don't think I would have moved as fast. But you could tell we spending like virtually all day, all night together, and it's just like. And the crazy thing is, I mean, you know, this TMI, whatever, we were spending all this time and we wasn't having sex. No. So it wasn't like sex was the factor. It was just genuine, like, vibes. You know what I'm saying? It was genuine, like, this is cool. Like, I can see this really going somewhere. And it wasn't like I was trying to rush her to be in a relationship or anything. But you spending all this time over here and I'm spending all that time over there. Like, What we doing? Because, I mean, I like you, you like me, like that TikTok say, and we not together, you know?
No, and you're absolutely right. Not even just the fact that we weren't having sex. We were really like making moves together. So, first of all, just to kind of get some background, not that I need to, but I just want to give some clarification. Brent, at that time, Brandon was a foster parent. And so, number one, that made me feel comfortable because I'm like, baby, DHR at your house every week. So you can't be too crazy, because that was one thing. It's like, Diondra, I operate in a lot of logic. And so it was like, does it make sense for you to trust this man like this? But I felt comfortable because he was a licensed foster parent. DHR was around, play with me, and I'm going to report you, period. So don't worry about that.
You was going to snitch?
For sure.
Dang.
For sure. So that was number one. Then number two, just kind of our purpose in life aligned. Brandon was an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur. I was actually getting ready to launch my Airbnb, and he just came in my life at a point in time where he was able to help me get to the next level with my business. And he was just such a man. Like, I don't even know how to put that into words. I had never been loved the way I was loved by him. And just, us making business decisions together. I think we started our YouTube before we actually got in a relationship. We had talked about podcasting. Like, there was just so much that it was just like, this just makes sense. So we decided to take that step.
True.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been golden ever since. Like, we have not had that moment where we've broken up, or
we could have had that moment when we was about to break up.
I guess we could have that one day. You was tripping, but
I was tripping.
We're not going there today. It was a miscommunication, but we are a normal couple.
And on my end, we had a day that we could have broke up too.
Really? What'd you do?
It wasn't me.
Oh, what'd I do?
At my job.
Chill.
So we could have broken up.
I wouldn't have broken up with you. I just would have had to beat your ex up. I mean, it's just, she rolled up on me. But anyways, we say
I ain't even say what you did.
We say all of that to say, like, we normal. We ain't out here just flexing like we perfect. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do think that this marriage, this relationship was definitely a God ordained thing. Like, Brendan and I don't argue for real. Yes, we have little nitpicks or whatever, but we communicate very well. Our mindsets are very much so aligned, and I think overall it's the respect that we have for one another. Like, he don't try to control me, I don't try to control him. Like, that's a full grown man over there, and he had a life before he met me, you know what I mean? And I really try to respect that. And I just think that we were put together to do some dope things on this earth, and we both are full-fledged. Like, we gonna do what God called us to do.
Yes, for sure. But before we go, I need to ask you one more question.
What's up, boo?
All right. So, is there anything that I told you? Is there anything that I told you about that wasn't like? Did I give you like the full details of like disability, my day to day? Like, is there anything different that you see now that we've been together this long?
Excuse me. I don't think so. I'm trying to really think so I can answer this as honestly as possible. But you were very, very honest. And pretty early on, you pretty much told me what you see is what you get, which is true. I feel like I'm stalling because I'm trying to think, but I guess the answer to that is, what you told me so far has been true. There hasn't been anything that I discovered later that was like, oh, you left that detail out, or, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I just wanted to, get your opinion on a couple of, this stuff. Like, I wanted to, just maybe this can help the next couple. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody hold you back from a person because they just have a disability. So,
okay, before we go, one last thing. I think you should give advice to someone on both sides, or, I don't know. I say on both sides. The person who has the disability, because I know sometimes insecurities may play a role, or just not, being super confident. Or on the other side, like, can you kind of speak to both, to the person with the disability on how to embrace when someone is serious about pursuing them in a relationship, and then to the person who is, I guess, normal in the relationship? Can you kind of give us some advice?
All right. So to the person that is normal, I'm gonna go with you first. Just give it a chance. Just take it in, give it a chance. Move slow if you have to, but don't move too slow because whatever
Get left.
you get left, get left or get right. So
I like that.
just figure it out. Just take your time, figure it out, and actually get that person a chance. Now, to the person that has the disability, I'm sorry, you the catch. You are the catch because you ain't you the catch. Build your confidence. So what made me kind of get my confidence together was COVID. I was sitting in the room every day and I was just like, yo, this can't be life. Like, I had just found out I had kidney disease and I was just contemplating, like, just sitting there thinking about what is the future going to look like? And if I don't find the person to take serious now, am I going to have kids? At this point, I'm 31 and I'm thinking like, yo, this is the time where I need to, stop dealing with the ones that ain't about nothing or ain't getting nowhere or, I need to really find me and I need to find a wife. And I said from that point on, I wasn't going to date anybody else that wasn't where I was and looking for the things that I was looking for. When I met Diondra, the first conversation, it was like, she checked this box, she checked that box, she checks this box, she checks that box. And it was just like, yo, God, you was really listening to me. You really listened to everything that I said. I mean, when I say everything that I said down to the relationship with her mom, like everything that I asked God for that day, I can still remember laying in my bed, just talking to God. Like everything that I asked for a dope sister-in-law. I got the dope sister-in-law. I asked for a dope father-in-law. I got dope father-in-law. Everything that I asked for, a lady that can lead me into a stronger relationship with God. Just everything. She checked every box. So it was just kind of like, all right, God. So I said that, and now I got to stick with that. Like, you put this in my face. If I fumble the bag on this one, then I just fumble the bag and, don't even present me with nobody else. So just remember, sir or ma'am, you are the catch. And nobody should get a pat on the back to love you or to want to date you. There's no badge of honor. Like, do what you got to do and, things will work out. But just remember, to pray and talk to God and, tell him exactly what you're looking for and you the catch. And that's how I'm going to leave it. Because I'm the catch.
It. You okay.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Okay. I really enjoyed this episode. Y'all give us some feedback on what else y'all want to talk about. What do y'all want to know? What questions? Maybe we'll do a Q&A. Maybe we'll hop on live one day. I don't know. Who knows?
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Jump in our DMs on Instagram, BT.
Hold on. But don't jump in my man DMs because I'm not even going to play like that. Oh, okay.
I was talking about our DMs together.
Well, I'm just putting it out there because, folks like to be. Let's be clear.
BTDT TV.
BTDT TV on Instagram. Yeah.
All right. We out this thing.
Peace.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.